Okay, so here's the argument. So P1, to be within spacetime, entity X must have dimensional limitations like spatial extension, temporal duration, or both. P2, if X lacks dimensional limitations, then dimensional predicates are inapplicable to X. P3, if dimensional predicates are inapplicable to X, then X is beyond that framework because it operates without those predicates. And therefore, anything that is outside the predicates and actually sorry something that doesn't go by the predicates of space and time is going to be beyond that framework because they're operating like they don't necessitate this framework, so therefore they'll be operating beyond them. So if X lacks dimensional predicates, then X will be beyond the framework of dimensionality. What do you mean the next dimension, bro? Okay. Okay, so this is just presupposing what dimension means. Dimensions in different contexts can just refer to a place. So that doesn't, so them calling it a higher dimension of the next dimension doesn't automatically mean that they're talking about dimension in like the physical sense, like space and time and stuff like that. Like if we're given prior evidence that it is not like a dimensional thing, like I just argued, then by using reductio ad absurdum, then we'll just come to the conclusion that dimension in this context it is just referring to a different place rather than like it being dimensional. Yeah. What do you mean? Like how do they enter inside? Like when people die, like you're asking if they can go there. Like how is the thing out of vessel? Okay. No. Okay. Bro, that literally just means that they're built like this, bro. Like literally. Like if a character can casually just go in an adversarial place and destroy things there and like do not and doesn't care about like being limited. Like they just built like this, bro. Yeah, if obviously you will need special permissions if your own power is. Give me an example. Yeah. Bro, they're built like this. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like literally. You're trying to push a false narrative that the realm cannot be universal because those characters were able to go there. Like, bro, if we lose simple logic, they just put like this. Wait, what did you say? Prove that. But what? What do you mean? When have I ever seen somebody punch a concept? How does that relate to this argument, bro? No. The concept, like a concept in itself, is not universal. It's going beyond this concept that's universal. So no. Like, what do you think when, like, even you agree that to be universal, you must transcend the concept of space and time. So how can you now say that a concept is universal, but then you say you have to transcend a concept to be universal? How do you transcend X to become X? I'm saying the afterlife transcends the concept of space and time, bro. Like, stop trying to mix my words, bro. I'm saying afterlife transcends the concept of space and time, and that those characters like Goku are able to affect this. Hence, why they will be able to affect universal things. Bro, I gave you the argument, bro. How distance does is an index to like spatial things actually existing, bro. Because the thing is, distance is mainly just defined as like like a set of things. Oh, sorry, hold on. Let me just. Yes. Yeah. What? Wait, what? I never talked about the Carson number. No, but I was talking about neutral zone and timelines, but I never said Kaioshin realm. Yeah. Bro, oh my gosh, bro. The thing is, it does, like, oh my gosh. So the reason I'm saying other word is universal is because it exists outside the framework of space and time, which you never refuted. You're arguing that you asked, oh, but is other word outside the entire like Dragon Ball multiverse? And obviously no, but that doesn't contradict the fact that it's still beyond the framework because the thing is, like, other word is universal, and within a timeline you have the neutral zone, which is able to like separate and contain all these different like universal constructs. But the thing is that doesn't contradict otherwise still being beyond the framework of space and time. That would just mean that like the neutral zone, it's just beyond this. When did I say that? Yeah. Yeah, and obviously those structures are like bounded by dimensionality. So obviously, if other word is beyond the framework of dimensionality, then that means it's beyond the 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 affirmation structure on versus battle wiki, which are bounded by dimensionality. So like, yeah, it qualifies for adversal. But you never attacked anything. You can't just say it's not universal. Like I literally gave you all the arguments on as why it is, and I've refuted your points, and now you're just saying, "Oh, but I don't think it's universal." Like, bro, no, but prove that time still applies. But like that's the thing. You still doesn't. You still presuppose things, bro. Bro, that's presupposing that the thing that they cannot like travel to without the timing is bounded by space and time, which you still didn't prove. Okay, but so if they're saying moving in time and we have other evidence that the thing that they're moving to is not bounded by time, then saying like traveling to time, we're literally arguing on things being universal. And like now, obviously, you brought up the fact that they need a timing to travel to time. So it does. Yeah, but that's presupposing the multiverse that it's not outside of, it's like part of those affirmation structure that versus by the wiki was talking about. So like you have to presuppose that the multiverse in question, like the multiverse in context, is like part of the like dimensionality, which is what versus by the wiki was saying, but something universal must be outside the affirmation structure. Like the affirmation structure are obviously bounded by dimensionality. So like you'll be presupposing that the multiverse in question is still bounded by dimensionality to make that claim, which is what you can't prove. Again, just because Otherworld is not outside the entire Dragon Ball multiverse, I'm saying that's not universal. It's presupposing that the multiverse is part of those aforementioned structure, which you didn't prove. I didn't. Yeah, so like obviously parts of the multiverse can be part of those affirmation structure, but not the entirety of it. So obviously, Otherworld is gonna be beyond and outside some parts of the multiverse that is part of those affirmation structure. But there are parts of the multiverse that are not part of those affirmation structure that Otherworld can obviously like not be beyond of. So like that's what I'm saying. They contain universal structure, so that means that they don't fit what you call a multiverse. When I say multiverse, I'm not literally saying that they're like 4D spacetimes. I'm just saying that there are multiple things. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so when I say multiverse, I'm not literally talking about like multiple spacetimes. Yeah. I'm talking about the entire like timeline construct where like there's other universes and like the neutrals and everything. Yo, yeah, so that's not a multiverse again. For it to like be a multiverse, as in being a multiple spacetime, you have to prove that those things are multiple spacetimes, which you're just presupposing. Yeah, prove that they are all spacetime to begin with to say that they qualify for your definition of multiverse, which they don't. I never said that. I said that the entire multiverse, like the all the universe. Yeah, but I'm saying that the entirety of those universes are not spacetime. That's what you're not understanding. Yeah, which I've proven and you didn't refute. Your refutation is saying, oh, but it's not beyond those things, which I'm saying doesn't like contradict it. And now you're just going back to like saying, oh, the word is not universal to begin with. So that's just like circular reasoning. Oh, listen, I don't care about oh you're appealing to the weak and whatever. I'm saying that, bro. What? Bro, you're using the wiki for things in Dragon Ball. So like you saying you're appealing to the wiki. Like obviously, bro. Listen, bro. Listen. Right now, right now we're talking about like the Dragon Ball construct, and you're saying, oh, but I'm using versus battle wiki. Yeah, so that's the thing. You can use versus battle wiki for the tiering, but when it comes to like the actual structure of Dragon Ball, that's not where you're gonna like use the wiki for it, which is what we're arguing. I never disagreed with what versus battle wiki is defining our versal of. I never disagreed with higher dimension. I never disagreed with the tuning system. What I'm disagreeing with is just your presuppositions. You're presupposing things in Dragon Ball that are false. Yeah, like saying the entirety of the multiverse is space-time when it's not the case. Like there are things that are space-time, but not the entirety of the multiverse is space-time, which is what you've been saying. What are you talking about? Yeah, but oh, bro, Kayoshinwam is outside the macrocosm, bro. Yeah, that's the Kayoshinwam, bro. Yeah, I never claimed that. Yeah. Gosh, bro. He was literally starting to spread to other timelines. That means that he was going beyond the timeline, because how can you say he's not going beyond the timeline if he's spreading to other timelines? What are you attacking at this point, bro? What are you even attacking, bro? Yeah, but all your arguments just do not matter, bro. Like literally. All I'm saying is Goku was able to significantly affect a place that like literally like has the qualities to be out reversal. So what you're supposed to actually attack is whether the thing that Goku affect is actually like has the quality to be out reversal. I don't care about you saying, oh, but Goku himself doesn't have like, bro, I don't care about this. I never claimed Goku had the qualities to be out reversal. I'm saying that he was able to significantly affect a word that has the qualities to be out reversal. So like you're just going on completely freaking points that do not matter, bro. It is. It is. I gave you the argument and you didn't refute anything. So you didn't listen to my argument. You didn't. Oh, bro, I gave you the scale for Ottawa being adversarial and you just completely forgot about it, didn't you? Yeah, so prove everything you just said that it does have. So like for example, you said it can be affected by key attacks. Okay, so like that's presupposing energy attacks are like physical to begin with. So like give a justification for that. What? What did you say is a physical attack? Oh my god, bro. Listen, that's presupposing that the energy attacks in question, which are key attacks, are physical, bro. Yeah, it's not, but like none of your justification is saying it's physical, but like I'm literally saying that if like the energy in the question, like its nature is non-physical, so it can interact with non-physical things, and just because it can interact with non-physical things doesn't mean that all of a sudden it cannot interact with physical things. That's also like a false dichotomy. You're trying to limit something that is non-physical, that it cannot affect something physical, and it can only affect non-physical things. So like that's a false dichotomy. So like why should that be the case? Why does that matter? But all I'm saying is that key in itself, its nature, is not bounded to physicality. No, you just said that it can affect physical things. You never actually like prove that like the energy in itself is physical. So no, you didn't prove it's physical. You proved that it can affect physical things.
That's totally different, bro. What do you mean by conceptual when, bro? Yeah, that's what I'm asking you. Bro, what do you mean a concept existing, bro? I'm arguing that other word is beyond the framework, bro. I never talked about freaking concepts. Oh my gosh, bro. I'm saying other word is beyond concepts, not that it is concept. It is a concept, bro. Come on. Okay, prove that. Okay. Okay, so first things off, formless. Like for something, so saying that something adversarial has to be formless. Formless here is referring to it not having any physical like properties. So obviously, if I'm arguing, so if other word literally like is beyond dimensionality and lacks physicality, then things out there are not actually like don't have any like physical freaking what's it called again? Physical qualities and quantities and stuff like that. So like no, it's not so like saying that other word is not like me saying other word is formless means that it doesn't have like any physical quality, so like no, so like everything. Yes, which means that it's not physical, that's what I'm saying. What? When did I what are you saying, bro? Well, because it literally transcends the dimensionality, which means that it goes beyond physicality, since time and space are literally like things that define physicality. So if it's beyond space and time, then it's beyond physicality by virtue. So yeah, it's beyond physicality. So everything there is not doesn't have like a physical form, so it's formless, as in the context that formless refers to not having any physical degrees or qualities and stuff like that. What? Because that's a separate scale. Well, like the thing is, you gotta know that right now we're arguing whether other world in itself has universal qualities. But the thing is, like when I'm arguing for Goku Black being universal, like I'm not arguing Goku Black having qualities of being universal and stuff like that. So like I don't know why you're all of a sudden bringing up the Goku Black point. What? Yeah. Because for Goku Black, I was trying to tell you how his power is beyond the concept of space and time. But when it comes to other world, so you concede. Sure. I'm kind of tired, anyways, bro. You too, man. Yeah. Yeah. I can't hear you, man. Yeah, I had no reason to be toxic, bro. Yeah, it's a discussion. Yeah. Yeah.
You're insane! You're in pain! I can tell by what you're saying!